York's classic rock, Q1043.
How perfect is this? How perfect is this? Ken Dashow, Studio 2, Q104.3 comes to Abbey Road, sitting here with Zach Starkey.
I'm going to turn around.
There we go. How are you?
I'm good, mate. It's nice to see you again.
You too. Been a while since you was back at Q. So the reason we're doing this, and this is important, Zach Starkey, who? Get that? An evening of drums and conversation, one-man show, a Q&A, happening right in my neck of the woods, New York's Gramercy Theater, February 20th, 2026. Get your tickets to see Zach doing a one-man show. What made you decide to do this?
I don't have a job.
Okay, well, there's that, but why? But why this? You come on, there isn't a band that wouldn't want you somewhere or another. Why this?
Really? If someone watching me play with The Who, they're going to look at me and go, I don't want that in my band. I'm going nuts for 3 hours. Like, you know, they're going to think that's what I do, you know? Probably. And also, Pete Townsend put the bar so high. Pete's bar's up here.
Yeah.
And everyone else is not. And I told Pete that. He went, I know.
Of course he said that.
Yeah, I know, yeah. But it is a bit like, with Pete, he changes everything every night. He never plays the same thing twice. If I play the same thing twice, he looks at me like, I've heard that.
Yeah, like you're not trying.
So every night, you got to surprise him and stick with him wherever he goes, you know. And I don't think there are any other groups like that anymore that take risks every night, take risks and demand 200%. That guy, he does windmills in rehearsals, for real. It's not an act, you know. And Roger is, I have to sort of look at Pete, or did, right? And maybe will again, but I don't know. And at Roger, and try and help them to stick together, because they can't really hear each other.
Right, so it goes through you.
So I've got to I'm in the middle, and I've got to sort of help them. Yeah, I've got to go with each one and try and
figure it out.
Yeah, just make it work, you know. The manager calls my money compensation. For real. Your compensation for this tour will be, you know.
And it is. Look, it was the craziest thing this summer. Our audience, we did this crazy poll. The Spinal Tap moment of 2025, according to our Q104.3 audience, was Zach Starkey and The Who. He's out. He's back. We're sorry. No, he's out. What the hell?
Then I was in again, and then I was out again.
There was another time that we didn't know.
The third time, yeah.
They're The Who.
It's just The Who, man. I didn't really get fazed or broken-hearted about it. I mean, I'd like to have not got fired, but when I first got fired, I tried to make light of it because I was about to release a very light-hearted single with Shaun Ryder and Andy Bell and Noel Gallagher and Bez, you know. And I didn't want to be seen to be sort of moping about The Who. Right. And trying to promote this amazingly zany single with a video that I shot with my kids' toys because I didn't have any money because we got dropped by the record label, you know. So I sort of made light of it, and Roger didn't like that. And then I was told to make a public apology for dropping some beats, so I did. If you just make a public apology for dropping some beats, you come back. So I did, and I got my job back, and I got fired again. Right, and then, was that the second time? Yeah, the second time. And then, I won't go into too much detail, but I told Pete, get this drummer because you love him, and the guy turned it down, so Roger called me. And I was going to get my job back, and then an interview that I did with the Daily Telegraph came out, and they'd watched the gig on YouTube where I got fired. And they went, wasn't you, was it? And I just said, he got it wrong, I got it right, and I got fired again. Yeah. And that's it.
Yeah.
And that's how it works. You know? But all the way through, me and Roger were talking, and me and Pete were talking, it's just, you know. It's
just like the friendship has stayed?
Of course. I've known Roger since I was 17, you know.
Wow. It's amazing. People always ask me, like, what happened between Pete and Roger? And I say, and my take on it I said, nothing. It's always been that.
Yeah, that's what I think.
You said to me, you saw them, you and John were there, and they're bashing the hell out of each other? Yeah.
What?
What was it? I mean, when you first walk in, was it '96 when you joined the Who?
Yeah. No, they didn't have any contact until side of stage. Like different hotels,
Yeah.
and they would just sort of go like that, and then we go on stage, and it'd be like an amazing musical fight, and no one's ever going to win it. Sometimes for 3 hours, you know.
You can't sum it
But
up.
it was
any
really
better.
gladiatorial. Like when it went back to a 5-piece in '99.
Yeah.
In 96, 97, Quadrophenia, big band, well rehearsed. I'm in the middle. There's no click tracks. I'm holding it together. It's going to be the same every night, roughly. You know, we didn't do the hits. We just did Quadrophenia.
Right.
Sometimes we come out at the end and do like acoustic, Kids Are All Right, something. You know. And then '99, we went back to a 5-piece, which they hadn't done since Kenny.
Right.
And can I swear on here?
Yeah. Sure.
Really?
Absolutely.
Is it a Beatles channel? They don't swear.
No, it's for YouTube, for anything. We'll cut what we need you to cut. But be yourself.
No, the Beatles don't swear, you know that. And it was like, I had no idea I was going to be like, it was like, whoa. And Pete's like in front of me,
Welcome to the Who.
calling me a cunt and spitting on my drum riser and shit. And what he's saying is, come on,
Let's go.
let's go, yeah. It works.
It's a fight.
Well, it's sort of a musical. You could call it inspiring you with threat, right? But
That's priceless.
But so many bands are like this, you know.
Kirbishley once said, "It's not love, hate. Actually, it's love, anger." And I thought that's the greatest Spinal Tap answer.
The greatest thing Bill ever said was they had an addiction to friction. And that's true.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Zach Starkey with me here in Abbey Road, Studio 2. Zach, so I've done thousands of interviews through my career. I've been doing this almost 50 years. I always get nervous when I walk into this room. I'm not kidding, like, 'cause the gods.
I'd get nervous if the Beatles were in here.
But I just, you know what it is? As kids,
I'm not afraid of some walls and an organ.
But that's the thing. I don't understand why, but I look at the floor and you go, every picture we saw of them, you know, when we were kids growing up, here's the picture, there's the piano, there's the drum kit, your dad, you know, there's where your dad's drum kit was. And it's the history of it, the living history of it. When you go to a museum, you didn't actually, you know, hang out with Henry VIII or see him. But this is living history, this room, to me. And it's like,
Yeah.
crazy, but
Yeah, no, I get it. But they were really good.
they were really good.
Right. So another band could come in there and it's not going to work.
Yeah, I mean, amazing things happen.
And some of White Album was cut in a closet upstairs. Is that right?
Yeah, what your blues they did in the closet.
And Happiness is Warm Gun.
Yeah.
I think, you know?
Crazy. When did you first realize as a kid that your father, that dad, is this international star?
Well, quite young, really. But then I got in a band and it became a pain in the arse. Because I'd play club gigs in London and the press would come and just take pictures of me and not the group. And I found it really annoying and they just throw sticks at the paps and that, you know.
Yeah.
And I sort of rejected the Beatles. I was about 25. And I listened to the Beatles when I was 25 and just went, shit, I should have been listening to this for a long time.
Yeah. You know what? It's really good. Dad plays
Yeah, it is,
really,
but
really
I'm
well.
glad I didn't because I got into other stuff and I didn't put them on a pedestal. You know,
Right.
like, I do now. Right? I see my dad on TV with the Beatles. I get kind of misty. You know.
Yeah.
Wow, you did that. What you did is amazing. You changed the world. Right. Not many bands change the world.
Correct.
Most of them fuck it up.
But you know, when people talk about I'm an amateur drummer. I'm just good enough to know how bad I am.
Go on then.
But I'm good enough to know great playing. But
on it.
here's the thing about your dad, is that the fills, not busy, not complicated, but every little, you think about Lovely Rita, boom, boom, da-da, boom, ba-doom. It's perfect. You know, nothing, there was never an extra note, there was never, everything fit. In the Get Back movie, they're running down a song for the first time. And they don't even look, there's nobody even nods who does a guitar. They just stop, your dad does a fill, and they go back.
I haven't seen that.
When it's that tight, first time running through it, and your dad's hearing it for the first time, and it comes in perfectly. that 10,000 hours of playing with mates, whether you had a Barney or not.
That's the thing, isn't it? Like, you know, they've shared a back room in Hamburg and flea-ridden beds, and you know, and played for hours every night and built that chemistry.
I always ask bands, would you be willing to do that now? Would you live in the back of a strip clubs, washing the urinals, just to play 8 hours a night for months on end, so that when you came back, you were the tightest band that ever
I'd
lived?
do it for a week. Well, not that long, you know.
Yeah, there's no substitute for that. They could do anything. Everyone said when they came back, every artist I talked to looked at them and said, we don't know how they do. They run on stage and just play. It takes us 5 minutes to tune and look at each other like, okay.
Yeah, and they didn't have monitors, you know.
No monitors.
Look at like, say, Stadium or whatever it is, you know, they're perfect, even though they can't hear a thing.
So I asked your dad point blank, I said, I still don't understand that magic trick. If you can't hear a thing, Paul and George said they couldn't hear each other sing. You're behind them. How is it possible, without hearing the song, you kept a beat? And your dad just said, I watch Paul's ass.
Exactly, that's what I do with Pete. I watch his ass. I watch his hands. I watch everything he's doing. You can body language. But for the first year, we look in each other's eyes. He'd stand right in front of me until we'd connected, and then I could look at the back of his head, and I knew what he was going to do. You know, and it does work.
Right, but it's really about time, right? It's really about repetition and time. How many times you do that on stage, on theater? When people say repetition, 8 a week, and every actor I know says it isn't until a month or so into the run where you go, yeah, now I got it.
Yeah, the thing about the Who is it's never the same. It's never ever the same. 2 nights running. So
right.
So you have to be able to read each other, because you don't know what's going to happen. This show I'm doing is the first time I know what's going to happen, because I've already heard it, you know, and I'm playing to it, you know.
So this show, the one-man show, again, it's called Zach Starkey, Who? An Evening of Drums and Conversation. What are you going to play?
Well, it's more than drums and conversation. It's like there's rare film and pictures, which will be the introduction for the show, okay? And then there'll be a short drum solo, probably won't get fooled again, and then there'll be a Q&A while the film is fresh in people's minds.
Yeah.
Right, and then I want to try and keep it loose so we could go anywhere the audience wants to go from the Q&A. So I'll have a list of stuff that I've got, but it won't be in order. But I will insist on finishing with the Who, because you can't follow the Who. Nobody can. A lot of people have tried, right? Because we've done a lot of tours where we've in territories that have never been before the Who, and we had to open for huge bands. We smoked a lot of them. We smoked
really?
them all, yeah. We smoked them, man. You just can't follow it. It's impossible. You can't follow people that are right on the edge, you know, and don't rehearse and we're jamming. It's jam.
Right.
It's changing it every night, you know. So it's completely balls to the wall bebop with amps.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good way to say it.
What, you know, the Beatles started, they were 10th on the bill, Helen Shapiro's the top, and before a few weeks into that tour, they're 5th, they're 4th, and everyone realized, no, they're at the top of the bill.
So the show is like, it's drums, but it's not a drum clinic, because drum clinic's quite boring, I always thought, you know. I took my dad to one once, and he said, never take me there again. Right, and so it's more like a music clinic, because every song I play, the band will be on the screen.
Okay.
Right, so I'll be playing live, and they'll be there. Right, because with AI, you can take the drums out.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
Right.
so take the drums out.
Right. And you'll play the drums live, too.
I'll play the drums live to The Who, Oasis, Johnny Marr, my dad, Joe Walsh, Dave Edmunds, and other stuff. So it'll be a surprise, you know. I've got far too much material. I mean, I've got fucking...
You got to cut it down.
I don't know what to take out. I've got absolutely tons of it. There's some demos I did with John Entwistle, which is just me and him, and he plays keys and stuff on it, and I've taken the drums out of that so I can play to that. I've got a lot of footage and pictures no one's ever seen. It's more like a night of music and stories, questions, answers, no bullshit, truth.
Right.
and hopefully it'll work. And if it isn't working, I'll just do jokes.
Right, but it's the thing that we don't get that I love. You know, like the storytellers thing, where an artist is telling stories about the song or whatever. Paul does that on stage or whatever. Yeah. But you're taking people through this musical journey that they don't get to see. Here's how this worked. Here's how we play this, and not.
Yeah, if someone wants me to break down, you know, how do you like sound like Keith Moon, but you don't actually play. I don't actually play what Keith plays because you can't.
Right.
He couldn't. Once he'd done it, you know, he couldn't play it the same. So, if anyone wants to know how to do that, then I'll sit at the drums and break it down for them. But really, it's more about, you know, what do you want to know about touring with Oasis or touring with my dad or touring with The Who, you know, like, you know, what's the, you know, just, like, I could talk about all this stuff.
Yeah.
Because I never signed an NDA.
Good man,
Yeah.
good man. Yeah. Well, you know, the other thing, getting to Oasis, they just had this great summer tour. So all the stories about, you know, them are legendary about how they went at it like cats and dogs. What was it like for you?
5 years, I never argued.
Really?
Never argued once in 5 years. We just laughed every day. And we were the greatest live band for 2 years. Greatest live band in the world. It was fucking amazing. And we took it to America and destroyed it. And America kind of had to eat their words about Oasis, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it was smug to come off as, you know, Wonderwall and they're Beatley and like, yeah, what's wrong with that?
I don't think they're Beatley at all. I think they're more like the Sex Pistols than the Beatles.
Yeah. But you're the one person who straddles that, where you're Sex Pistols and some Beatles. And, you know, nobody has that large, like a box that they play and that they love, where you're playing the angriest punk, you know, new and also playing...
Sex Pistols are my favourite group ever.
Really?
Ever. I know it's only one album, but it's the album that means the most to me.
Wait, and did you gravitate to Paul Cook? Was that kind of your...
I played to that record so much, and it taught me to be able to play mid-tempo. Like, make it sound fast when it's not fast.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, to that end...
And Paul's a really great friend.
Oh, that's great.
And for a while we had a band called the Shush Pistols with my wife singing. I played guitar and lived out my dream of being Steve, and Paul and Glenn were our rhythm section, and they never worked together outside the Sex Pistols before. I took a 4-hour lunch to talk them into it. A lot of pie and mash.
And I bet they had a ball. They must have loved it.
Oh, we had a great time.
Yeah.
We did a great show at the Box that we filmed.
Really? Awesome. I'd love to see it. So going back
and then we moved that. Paul didn't have a visa, so we went to New York with Glenn and played with Clem Burke, took on the drums.
Oh.
He was a great friend from 1980. You know?
May rest in peace. What a great drummer.
Fantastic.
Lovely guy,
great
too.
Friend as well.
Yeah.
Really reliable guy.
He was one of those guys who was always around New York. You know, you always ran into him at the right gigs.
He's the only mod in the Bowery.
Yeah.
I love Clem.
Good man. Clem, you'll never forget your sound. Okay, so something you just mentioned, playing. So, you know, when you said, like, I rejected the Beatles, Touch 25, but you're playing with your dad in the All-Starr band 2 go-rounds.
I was 27 by then. That was great, yeah.
What was it? Yeah, tell me about it.
It was the most I ever saw my dad. It was on that tour. Like, you know? It's the most we ever see each other.
Yeah.
You know?
What was it like?
Fantastic. Great. You know, it was just great to be with my dad every day, you know?
Yeah. But, you know, I asked Greg Bissonette the same question who's doing it now. How do you divide up, when there's 2 drummers, how do you divide up who's playing what, where? How do you
You just play. Me and my dad just went like that.
Right off the bat.
It's like blood, because of the blood. You know?
Plus,
there's blood involved, but it's boom.
But you're playing all these other people's songs, you know, and that's the one thing. It's you're learning everybody's, you know, hits as you go.
Right after that tour, I toured with Joe Walsh for 2 months. On his solo tour, you know.
What a great guy.
He's amazing.
By the way, it was the funniest story about the All-Starr thing anybody ever told me. Joe said, so I told Ringo, look, you're never going to get any of these people to learn each other's songs. You're not going to do it. Just get a good backline band. We'll sing a couple of hits. You come out, you do your stuff. We'll sing with a little help and we're good. And Ringo says, nope, I want everybody to learn the songs and be a real band. And I said, well, why are you going to do it? It's just for one tour. And he said, because I'm Ringo. And I said, oh, yeah, I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. That worked great.
I mean, those shows are legend, and your dad's still going. He sounds great. McCartney, killing it. Not, oh, that's good, killing
No,
it.
it's killing it, yeah.
I mean, it's the blue rose about this music, is that every generation loves their teenage idols. What doesn't happen is that I'm here with Zach in Studio 2, Abbey Road 2026, and a third of our audience is your children's age, is under 20. There's no way to explain, and the music is so alive. It means so much to them. We're a rock station. We're playing, we're playing Offspring. We're playing Green Day. We're playing Metallica. But Beatles, Who, Stones, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, that never leaves. That.
No, it still stands up, a lot of it, doesn't it?
Yeah. Some things go, but when will Purple Haze, when will Strawberry Fields, when will these songs ever not resonate with somebody?
I think they always resonate, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen next year.
Exactly. But, we live in a world of such anger and hatred. And these songs...
And misery.
And misery.
Music today's fucking miserable, isn't it?
But I don't want to feel like the old fart of like pop songs but you don't address anything. When you think of the heartbeat of the sense of where do I belong, of Quadrophenia, when of the songs in this room, all you need is love, with a little help from my friends, it's getting better all the time. Songs that are about bringing you together. Songs are about, no, let's not have a punch out. Let's just figure out how it works. And those songs to a teenager, those will always speak to.
Oasis is like that.
Yeah.
Bring people together, lift them up, and watch them beat the fuck out of each other.
So the thing is about with COVID, with the shutdown, the one thing we didn't have is communal experiences like going to music shows. When you're at a show, you don't ask the person next to you who they voted for, what their thoughts are. You're singing along. You're at a show. And taking that away from us, you realize how tribal we are. We all went mad.
Yeah, sort of thing with Quincy Jones saying why musicians go crazy in lockdown is because when they're playing a show, they are actually doing transcendental meditation and they don't know they're doing it. So when they can't do shows, they go crazy. And he really nailed that, because I didn't even realise that, because you are in a different place when you're playing live,
Do you enjoy recording more or playing live? Is playing live every
I like playing drums with The Who, and I like playing drums with Johnny Marr and Oasis, and but I play the guitar mainly, with a lot of other bands, and I produce a lot, and I love doing that. But I just like playing the drums with people that push me really hard,
Yeah, they want you to create, not just...
Just push me as hard, really hard. Played with Joe Perry for a little while, and that guy kicked my ass every day. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just jam 45 minutes. I'd be soaking wet, sweating. He's amazing, Joe.
Right, and that's what drives. That's the fun of it, of creating and working hard.
Yeah, and like someone that great that can really push you.
Yeah,
not the people that rehearse like they're in the army and then go out on stage every night and do exactly the same. I don't see the point. There's no creation on the show. It's just, it was great tonight, wasn't it? We did it exactly like we did it in rehearsals. Fuck yeah. Who wants that? I don't want that,
In my little band that I jam out with like once a month or so, they wanted to do I Can See for Miles. And I'm trying to follow them, and I realized after a few times, like, this is ridiculous. That's never going to work. I'm never going to... Like,
you just got to play it different.
Yeah, let's just get in the studio and see where it goes.
You got to play it different. It's Keith. You can't play like Keith.
No, and it took me about an hour before that light bulb went off. Like, what am I doing? Why am I trying to follow?
I posted a version of The Who from Argentina from 2017.
Yeah.
From Shot Behind Me, and it's great. But I'm not doing anything Keith does, because you can't. You can have the same attitude and you can love the music, but we can't play what Keith plays. Just if you ask Keith to do it, he couldn't do it. If you copied it, you'd have to do it note for note. Pete is not playing that version. He's playing what he's playing today or tonight, Just it's pointless doing the record because he's not doing the record.
Right.
When he gets rehearsals, he doesn't know how it goes. He doesn't know the chords, and he learns them on the gig. That's how the Who works like that. There's not much rehearsal. There's not Then when John was alive, we didn't even sound check. We'd just show up and
Really?
show up like 8:10 and get on at 8:30. You know, it was great. It's like being on vacation with a gig that night.
God, I think actually for younger people, for people starting bands, for young people, learn how to play, figure it out. But just, what's the advice? Just play until it sounds right. And
Yeah, play.
just play.
Yeah, don't watch the fucking X Factor. Don't buy fucking Rock Band or whatever that game is, and get in the garage like Iggy and the Stooges. You know?
Get a bottle, get some beers.
No, I don't know about that. You don't need that. You just need to play.
There you go. Can't get better than that. Zach Starkey coming to New York. It's Zach Starkey Who, an evening of drums and conversation, as it's being called.
And unseen film and pics and all kinds of stuff, actually.
Gramercy Theater, February 20th. You have to get your tickets. And it's a small place. Pass it every day. By the time you see this, it may get sold out. You may need to add another night. But you have to go see this. Zach.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah. Studio 2. Is this, you've recorded here, you work Oasis here?
I did a great record with Oasis here. I did a record with John Entwistle here. I did a show here to raise money for a friend's hospital bill who had cancer. And I've hung out here a lot with other bands, you know.
But you're the only guy whose dad, there's a picture of his dad on every corner of this wall.
Yeah, you know, it is amazing. But I think they could have probably done the same work anywhere because it was them.
But everything seemed to happen the way it was supposed to happen.
No, people are not going to like me for saying that, are they? Especially Abbey Road.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think the Beatles could have been anywhere and been that great.
But, you know what I'm saying? Like,
this
it's
is just convenient for Paul, isn't it? He lives around the corner.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Like, the one thing, and I'll leave it with this, the right person met them. You know, Brian Epstein gets rejected by every company in London. And he finds this guy who did the comedy records on Parlophone and goes, I'll take a chance on this, that. You know, it was here because he took a chance. The right guy comes, this person, that person. It just seems, the odds of all those coincidences happening, it seems harder to believe in that than it was just supposed to happen this way, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, they're obviously comfortable here.
Yeah.
You know.
You know it.
But, yeah.
You too. Zach.
I do think they could have done it anywhere.
Zach Starkey, Studio 2, Q104.3. Peace and love.
Rastafari.
New York's classic rock, Q1043.